Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Morgan and I am a huge makeup lover. I'm very excited today because we're going to be doing a full face of Colourpop with a hint of a twist. To choose my eyeshadow palette today, I decided to put all my Colourpop palettes in a little jar here, and I decided to choose my palette by basically luck of the draw. So I just picked my palette out of here, and that's how we started the eye look today. I really loved the way this came out. I'm sure you're looking at these lashes like, girl, those lashes are pretty dramatic. And yes, they are. So go ahead and stay tuned for that if you're interested. Also, please like and subscribe to my channel if you like. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. I'll see y'all at the end. Alright, so jumping into the video, I usually do my eyes first, so we're just going to stick with that today. And so today, in order to pick out my eyeshadow palette, I was given the great idea by my cousin to do a kind of like drawing for the eyeshadow palette. So I have 15 Colourpop eyeshadow palettes in my collection as of today. And so what I decided to do was write them all on a piece of paper. And then I put them all in here, and I am going to kind of like shuffle this around and then pick out of it to pick my eyeshadow palette to use today. I think it's an actually cool idea, so we're going to see how this works today, and maybe I'll do more of these in the future with different brands. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and give this a good shake. And I'm going to swirl around with my hand in there, and then I'm going to go ahead and pick a piece of paper. And we're gonna see what's on it. Ooh, so super excited about this pick actually, because this is my favorite Colourpop palette. This is gonna be the Flutter by palette. So that's what we're gonna be using today. Please excuse my atrocious handwriting. So cool, so I'm gonna go ahead and grab that palette. So this is what the Flutter by palette looks like. So that's the packaging, really pretty packaging. And then we have the palette itself. So this is a like a cool toned kind of mauve-y palette, and I'm actually really excited that this is the one that we picked. So woohoo! Okay, so I don't have an eye primer from Colourpop, so what I'm just going to go ahead and do is use a concealer from them. So I'm going to go on with their Colourpop No Filter Concealer. This is in the shade Dark 42. That's what this looks like. I'm going to go ahead and apply this to my eyes. So next I'm going to go ahead and set that base. So I'm going to use the shade Lush from this palette here. It's kind of like a beigey cream color, and I'm going to use that to set my concealer. And I'm going to go in with the E15 brush from the Colourpop brush set. It's just a big fluffy brush. And I'm going to use that to set my base. Now that I have the base set, I think what we're going to try to do today is a halo eye. I don't do a lot of halo eyes, so I figured might as well try to play around with one. So I think to do the halo eye, we still need to start out with a transition shade for the crease area. So I'm actually going to go in with the shade called Made to Last. This one is my favorite in the palette. It has a pretty good dip in it, but this one right here. And using the same exact brush, the E15. And this is going to be our crease slash transition shade. This one is really close to my skin tone, so it does fall more in a transition shade for me. But we're just going to apply this all over the crease, the upper crease area. So switching brushes, I'm going to go in with the E16 brush here. So this one is just a more flatter crease brush. And we are actually going to take the shade Changes right here, and I'm going to take the flat side of this brush, put it into the pan here, and we're going to put this on the both the outer portion of the eye and the inner portion, and this is going to help us create that halo eye effect. And you want to make sure that you're leaving the center part kind of open for the halo eye. And then what I like to do with the inner and outer portion is I like to connect them in the crease area, still leaving that center shade or that center lid open. I like to connect the two outer ends together in the center of the crease. So what I'm going to do is just kind of take my crease brush with a little bit of that Cha-Cha Changes shade and just connect that in the center. And that's it. We're not touching the lid at all. We're just connecting them. So now that I have the shape for the halo eye there, I think what I'm going to do is deepen up the outer portion, the outer and inner portions of the eye. So I'm going to go in with the shade Angel BB, which I think is possibly like Angel Baby. And I'm going to put that on the outer portion of the halo eye here and the inner portion of the halo eye, just to deepen that up just a tidbit. And I'm just going to look down when I do this so I can actually see. So now that we got that down, I'm going to go ahead and go in with the shimmer shade for the center of the lid here. And I'm trying to decide what shimmer I want to do because I kind of want to use the glitter that comes in the palette. So I think I'm just going to use a shimmer kind of as a base for that. So I think what we're going to go ahead and do is go in with the shade Just Imagine. It's the shimmer shade up here in the top. I'm just going to use my finger to apply this, and we're just going to be applying it in the center of the eye here. And that will give you a halo eye effect. Don't worry if you kind of get it in other places. We can always go back in with our blending brush and kind of fix that. So if you feel like you lost a little bit of your halo eye shades, you can go ahead and go back in with your blending brush again. This is the E16, and I'm going back into that brown Cha-Cha Changes shade. And I'm going to use that to, one, help blend in the shimmer, and two, to help bring those colors back into the eye that we might have lost when we were doing our center lid. Then I'm also going to do with that Angel Baby shade. I'm going to do the same thing, just apply that back to the outer and inner corners if you need to. Next, we're going to go ahead and apply the glitter. So this is the pressed glitter that's in the palette. It's called Overpacked. This is it right here. It's like a pretty kind of like pink with some purple hints in there, and I'm just going to tap my finger in that, and I'm just going to go ahead and apply that to the lid here. I don't know about y'all, but I love a good glitter. I know there's a lot of controversy around whether glitter is eye safe. I just say, like, use caution when you're both applying it and taking it off. But you know, ultimately it's up to you. I like glitter, so I'm going to use it. This is what I'm going to do for the eye look for now. I think what I'm going to go ahead and do now is go off camera and apply lashes and liner, and we'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back with brows and lashes on. Today I just used some Colourpop false lashes. These are in the style Chick. This is what the outer packaging looks like. This is what the lashes look like. They're very glamorous. So if you're into big false lashes, I think these will probably be the lash for you, hands down. For me personally, they're a little too big. They're almost so big that you can't even see like the eye look that I did. So just keep that in mind. They have a bunch of different styles on their website. So if this isn't really your style, you know, they have some daytime ones as well, or some less like dramatic lashes on their site, so just go ahead and check those out. For the brows today, I used the Colourpop Precision Brow Pencil. Mine is in the shade Black and Brown. This is what it looks like. It has a spoolie end here, and then it also just has the product here. It's a twist up. This is really good brow product. Can't say anything bad about it. And then just to go ahead and set the brows, I'm going to use the Brow Boss Gel. Mine is just the clear shade, so I'm just going to go ahead and use this to set the brows. Perfect. So now that we have our brows set, we're going to go ahead and go into face products. So today I'm going to be using the Pretty Fresh Hydrating Hyaluronic Acid Primer. They came out with this last year with their tinted moisturizer, I believe. It's from the same line, but I'm going to go ahead and use this to prime. It's very hydrating. It has a nice scent as well, but it's not too scented, so if you are sensitive to scents, it shouldn't bother you too much. But just to note, you're just going to go ahead and apply this to the face. For face products today, I'm actually going to be using their stick foundation. So this is the No Filter stick. This is in their older packaging. And I have the shade Dark 167W. I do think that I'm more of a neutral skin tone now, so this one might show up a little bit like orange on me, but I am kind of trying to use it up. This is how much I have left, so we're going to go ahead and use that. I also have their complexion sponge. This is the purple hourglass one, and we're going to use that to apply our products. I know that stick foundation is usually better applied with a brush, but I don't have a Colourpop brush, so I'm just gonna try the sponge and see how that works out. We're just gonna take the button and the sponge here. It is a dampened sponge, and we're just gonna go ahead and apply that to the skin. It definitely is a little oranger, so I'm gonna go ahead and bring it down the neck. So it is a decent coverage foundation. I would say it's probably more medium coverage. I do have an acne scar here still kind of peeking through, so I'm going to go ahead and apply a teensy bit more of the foundation to that particular spot. And then I'm just going to blend it in with the sponge again, just to see how that covers up. I would say so far the stick foundation is probably my favorite formula from them, and then they also have a liquid foundation that's more mattifying, and then of course they have their tinted moisturizer. Love the tinted moisturizer. I would say my least favorite would be the liquid one that they came out with, but fun fact, they're actually coming out with a new foundation. I did order it, so I will be doing a review on that soon. And that's also from the Pretty Fresh line, but it's a liquid, so we'll see like how that applies compared to the rest of the Pretty Fresh line. So I'm super excited about that. Next, we're going to go ahead and go in with concealer. So I have two different concealers that I'm going to be using today, both from Colourpop, of course. The first concealer I'm going to be going in with is the Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Concealer. It's what this looks like. Mine is in the shade Medium Dark 125 Neutral, so it's a little light for me to be using on its own for a under eye highlighting shade, so I'm going to use it with the normal Colourpop No Filter Concealer in the shade Dark 48. The Dark 48 is closer to my skin tone, so it should help putting these two together should help it look perfect as far as a highlighting shade goes. So I'm going to take the first one, the Dark 25 Neutral, and I'm going to dab a couple of dabs of that on both sides in the inner corner of the eye, under eye, just like that. Yeah, super bright, right? So then next I'm going to go ahead and take my Dark 48 concealer, and we're going to put that, kind of mix it in with it just to help it not be so bright. I'm going to go ahead and take my Hourglass sponge, the same complexion sponge, and I'm using the tip of it to blend out that concealer under the eye. And that's perfect because it's a good coverage, but then, you know, it also is highlighting, but it's not too light because I don't really like a super light under eye. So I'm really loving the way the makeup is turning out. It is very smooth and fresh and kind of everyday wear, so I do like that. Next, I have a face palette that I created on Colourpop's website. This is one of their magnetic palettes, and I decided to create a face palette. So we have two blushes, one highlighter, a lighter powder, a deeper powder, and then we have a bronzer here. Today I'm going to be using just the face powders and the bronzer. So I'm going to go ahead and take my sponge, just, you know, the clean side, and I'm going to dip into the lighter powder. The lighter pressed powder is in the shade medium dark. It looks really light on camera because of the lights, but it's not super bright. And I'm just going to take my sponge, dip into that, and I'm going to use that to set my under eyes. I like their pressed powders as well. Usually I have one in here, and I also have a compact of the dark shade that I use for touch-ups throughout the day. Now that I have the under eye set, I'm going to go ahead and set the rest of the face with the deeper powder. This is in the shade dark. Again, it's looking lighter on camera, but it is closer to my skin tone in person. And I'm going to go ahead and take the F18 brush. This is like a powder bronzer brush from the Colourpop brush set, and I'm going to use this to set the rest of my face. And again, this is the color I use for touch-ups throughout the day. And next for bronzer, I have the bronzer from that face palette. This is in the shade Rodeo Drive. Again, y'all, the lighting is going to wash it out just a little bit, but I'm going to take this on my Colourpop F21 brush, just the contour brush that they had, and I'm going to go ahead and use this as my bronzer. I will say Colourpop has really nice brushes. They have this brush set that came out with their Bare Necessities palette last Thanksgiving time, and then they have, you know, their own brushes that just have regular white handles. Both of them are good. I enjoy their brushes. Going in with highlighter, I'm actually going to take the highlighter again from my face palette here. This is in the shade Bay Area, and I don't know where I believe their brush set came with the highlighter brush, but I might be wrong, but I can't find it if it did. So I'm just going to go in with a different highlighter brush here and dip into that shade and apply that to my highlight area. This is just a great everyday highlighter also. I don't find it to be super glittery, but it is pigmented. Next, I'm going to go in with my favorite blush from Colourpop at the moment. This is from their Disney designer collection. This is the Tiana blush called Kissing a Frog. This is what the packaging looks like. Really pretty. I feel like this is still going to be on sale, but everything's out of stock right now for the most part for Colourpop, so I'm assuming that has to do with the quarantine. So let's hope they restock all their Disney designer stuff. But I'm going to take this on an F20 brush, and this is what the blush looks like. It is kind of like a mauve-y pinky tone, so I think this is perfect for the eye look that we did. And I like to use this as an everyday blush. I don't usually like a super pigmented blush for everyday, so that's why this one's perfect. Today I decided to do my under eye, so we're going to do that. So I think what I'm going to do first is start out with the deepest shade that we use. So this is Angel Baby, or Angel BB right here. I'm going to start with this on the lower lash line. For liner today, I'm going to be using the Colourpop liners. I'm pretty sure this is in the shade Brouhaha. I've used it so much that it's rubbed off, so I'm pretty sure that's the shade name, and it's just their brown liner. So I went ahead and did the under eyes, and I don't have a Colourpop mascara, so I just went ahead and applied mascara off camera. Next step in the process is going to be setting the face. So I'm going to be using my Colourpop All-Star Setting Spray. The sprayer is, like, y'all see how wet I am? The sprayer is a little rough right now. I don't know if it's because this is an older one, but that spray was a little rough. So I'm just going to let that dry down. Let's go ahead and jump into lips. So first things first, I do have a lip primer from Colourpop, so it's just a clear, kind of like lip balm looking thing. Mine's dirty because I use it, but I'm just going to go ahead and use that. And I think what this does is it helps smooth out the lips for your lip application. Today I'm going to use a combination of my Colourpop lip liner in the shade BFF number 3. That's just their one of their brown liners. And then I'm going to take the Colourpop lipstick. This is also from the Disney Designer Collection. This is in the shade Tiana. Mine is kind of messed up somehow, so it's not like the pretty lipstick. The top has been chipped off, but this is what it looks like. It's like a pretty brownish brick red color. So I'm going to use that and apply that on the lips, and we'll be right back for the finished look. But this is the final look with the lipstick. I really like the way that it turned out. I feel really pretty, really glamorous, especially with the glitter. The lashes are super extravagant, so I'm feeling really great and confident in this look. Always love a good red lip. So anyway, if you liked today's video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end, and I'll catch y'all in my next one. Bye.